And then following that will be Kathy McGranera from Canada, who's going to give us a tour of Little Mountain Cohousing in Vancouver, BC.
Yeah, so wow, you're a hard act to follow, Brian. That was really exciting. So we're back to North America here. So this is Little Mountain Co-Housing in Vancouver, Canada, which is on the west coast. And it was completed and moved in just under a year ago in March 2021. And these photos, I'll give credit to Martin Knowles, the architect that did this project, submitted it for a architectural magazine. So I had access to these nice photos. So this is the building front facade. I was thinking of Federico yesterday when he was talking about the brick in Belgium, because Vancouver has this weird idea, or an idea that to preserve neighborhood character, you have to put some kind of more fancy material on building facades. So the rest of the building, as you'll see in the back, is hardy plank, but in the front, it's got this fancy brickwork. So it's a 6-story wood frame building. It has 1 level of underground parking, and it got a parking relaxation from that it worked hard with the municipality to get of relaxing for 5 spaces, because it was co-housing and because the group had a strong commitment to car sharing. It has a full roof deck with urban agriculture and future solar. It's Passive House certified, and there's 25 units, 1 4-bedroom, 13 3-bedrooms, 8 2-bedrooms, 1 1-bedroom and den, and 2 1-bedrooms. Lots of the biggest hassle for the architect was that the group was really came together fast, and so they had all these different economic needs for space, and so the architect did a great job, but it was really hard because there needed to be a lot of unit types. So this is the back of the building. That's hardy plank. This is the lane, and this is the access to the underground parking. And it's got this courtyard. The building is an L shape with a courtyard there. This is a view from above of that courtyard. And the city also has mandates for multifamily building that there's a specific children's play area, and it has to have specific components. And we tried to argue against that, but they wouldn't give us any flexibility. So we have this little space that isn't really used by the kids. The kids use everywhere else. But so this is a view in from the courtyard. This is the common house area here, and there's a little lounge here, and then there's a children's play area over here. And the group was really excited to have outdoor corridors that a lot of co-housing projects have, but in the end, the way the building was formed, they didn't need much corridor space. And so they have this little tiny bit because they all wanted to be able to look out over the courtyard and supervise kids and do stuff from there. The group was really selective about the area they wanted to be in. They wanted to be specifically in this area that's called Little Mountain. So it took them about a year to find a piece of land, because it's hard to find land there. It's mostly a single family area, but this particular block area is very interesting in Vancouver, because all of this section here, this L section, was wartime, very small, affordable housing, little houses. And about 12 years ago, the provincial government decided to sell that whole area off to a developer to create more dense, affordable housing. And it turned out to be a huge nightmare. The developer that they sold it to was not good, and they immediately demolished all the housing. And it's 12 years later, and only recently have they started building some of the multifamily buildings. So it's basically a vacant lot, and it's a travesty for affordable housing. But because this was going to become a more dense area, the city made a policy statement for this little section here that it would be eventually all 6-story multifamily buildings. So though it's quite risky to try for a rezoning in certain single family areas, this one was guaranteed, though they did need to get a rezoning. And it has access to this fabulous, huge urban park. Over here, there's the big baseball stadium in town, which is fun. And then redone beautiful recreation center that was redone for the 2010 Olympics. This is a beautiful children's park, and it has a huge community garden thing. Most of the community gardens around have individual plots, but this is one that's gardened collectively. And it also has a year-round weekly farmers market there. This is the main north-south bike path in the city. These are main bus routes in the city. These two here, there's an elementary school. So there's a public transit underground speed station over here. There's restaurants along here. This is Main Street. It's not a super busy street, but it's a very hot, it's got lots of amenities. So this is why they wanted to be in this area. It's a terrific area. So I'll just show you the floor plans, just to show mainly the common spaces and how it's laid out. So this is the underground parkade, and where they got a relaxation. If they hadn't got that relaxation, they would have had to do 2 levels of underground parking given the footprint. So that saved them tons of money. And so they have a big bike area, and then they have, there's a ton of musicians in this group. So they have a soundproof music room in the parkade, and they have a woodworking workshop. And because they're doing extensive car sharing, they had 1 parking spot left over. So they have canoe and kayak storage there, because there's lots of people that do that. And this is on the ground floor. This is that courtyard area. So the common house and kitchen, the washroom. They have a big recycling and zero waste room. This is a lounge area, the laundry room, and the children's play area. And on the front of the building, there's 4 2-story townhouses, 2 bedrooms and 2 3-bedrooms. That's a picture of the kitchen and the common house. And then this is the 2nd level. So it's the 2nd level of the 4 townhouses here. And then this is a stack of 2-bedroom units, and this is a stack of 3-bedroom units. And this is one little tiny 500 square foot 1-bedroom that they fit in for one woman who needed it that small. She finds it really big because she moved in from 300 square feet. So, and this is the elevator in the building. And right outside the elevator on every floor is what they call the elevator nooks. And they've converted each elevator nook to a different use. So on one floor, it's the library. On one floor, it's a games room place. On one floor, it's a fabric arts thing. On another floor, it's a kids' homework area. So they're really having fun with those. And this is that one bit of outdoor circulation area that connects to this one unit on this side. And on the 2nd floor, they have a guest room. That's the elevator nook on the 6th floor, the library one. And this is, and that was 2 older women that live in the building reading stories to 2 kids of one of the single moms in the building. They made this co-work room on the 3rd floor, but they were telling me that they actually, in the pandemic, it's become that they do co-working like pretty much all over the building. People are working and forming little bubbles of work groups. So they've really expanded on just the co-work room. So in here, this became a stack of 2 bedrooms. This became a stack of 3 bedrooms. And this is a 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms on the top level. This jumps up to the 6th floor where there's a common space. So this is a big multi-purpose room on the 6th floor with a bathroom. And then it has a big, huge deck as well that's common. And then on their rooftop, they have these plots for urban agriculture and an area for future solar. That's an image of the roof deck that gets great views around because it's mostly single family in the area. Beside them, there's already a 6-story building, but they'll still have good views because it's on the top of the building, and that's the level that the rest of things will be. And yeah. This is the outdoor space of 2 of the townhouses on the bottom. I just put this slide in because it's interesting that the contractor, when he got the railings contractor came back with 6-story privacy screens between the townhouse adjoining balconies. Every unit has a balcony, but most of them are separated, but the townhouses and the 6th floor balconies are adjoining. And there was these 6-foot privacy screens. And the contractor was very shocked that the townhouses asked for the privacy screens to be removed. So they adjoin their patios. And on the 6th floor, they asked them to be made to 3-foot privacy screens. So that was just an interesting thing that we encountered. So this is the group during construction. And so the development model is that it was an owner developer project. There was no developer involved. And these 2 were they worked with CDC Cohousing. So Cohousing Development Consulting, which is Renee Matthew, who's been the project manager for many, many projects, especially here on the west coast of BC. And I worked with her on this project. And these were the first 2 founding members. They're not a couple, they're similar in age, but besides their age, they're the most different people, personality, just who they are so different. But they were so aligned in their vision, and they were the first 2 to start it. And they incredibly got this group together with our help super fast. So they approached us in January 2015. And by May 2015, we had 20 people sign up, with 20 households sign up with 20,000 each. So it was really incredible. And Jack had this idea to have stone soup nights once a week at his house. So he called them stone soup nights, and he made a big soup, and then everybody had to bring something to embellish it. And those were super popular, and just anybody could come, anybody that heard about it could come. And as well as doing monthly information nights and things. They were really quick to build the group. The timeline for the project ended up being 6 years because it took them quite a lot. It took them a year to find land because they wanted it in such a specific area. It took them 2 years to get their rezoning and development permit. The city is notoriously slow. And then it took them 2 years of construction because they built almost a lot of it was COVID time. So yeah, so they had to put in 40% of the financing as a group, and they weren't, because it's quite a desirable area, they weren't eligible for any affordability incentives or initiatives that the city sometimes can provide. So this is the group after they've moved in. They were having a party, so yeah, so there's 14 kids in the project, and there's adults of all ranges, and it's quite a diverse group, although you can't spot all the faces when you're there. But and there's several people of color households, several LGBTQ households. It's a real mixed community, which is fun in an urban project. They do 3 common meals a week. They have this thing, because the elementary school is so close by, there's all these older adult volunteers who go and take turns picking up the kids after school and bringing them home and giving them a snack and supervising them. So none of the working parents have to arrange after school care for kids. And yeah, they're very engaged, as some of the European groups were. Lots of interest in solidarity projects, lots of interest in community engagement, especially they've started out in their little section. In COVID, it's harder, but they are getting to know people in the newer buildings that are beside them, and pretty soon there'll be buildings on the other side as well, and it'll be a little neighborhood hub that they're hoping to contribute to a real whole neighborhood feel. So yeah, so that's Little Mountain Cohousing.